What exactly unlocked his potential, allowing this former number 2 overall pick, who was once almost traded by the Rockets, to become the team's leading scorer? Recently, he has had a stretch of 9 consecutive games with at least 20 points, while maintaining a true shooting percentage of 60%. This achievement has only been accomplished by 13 players in NBA history, and Jaylen Green is the youngest among them. This is his 4th season, and when you look at his average of 21 points per game, it may not seem extraordinary. However, the team's record doesn't lie. From being 11th in the West at the start of the season to now securing a spot in the top 3, Jaylen Green, as the team's leading scorer, has played a key role. In the first 6 games of 2025, he averaged 30 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2.3 assists, with a true shooting percentage of 65%. Jaylen Green is, after James Harden, another future superstar who could lead the Rockets to the top 2 in the Western Conference. The 2nd overall pick of the 2021 draft, Jaylen Green, nearly became trade bait but has now proven himself to be an untouchable asset for the team. In less than 2 years, how has he managed to complete this transformation? After James Harden left the Rockets, they began a long road of rebuilding. Over the past few years, the Rockets have gathered a lot of talented young players, but who will take over for Harden and lead the Rockets back to their peak? This question has troubled both the management and all the young players on the team. These are all young, talented players just over 20 years old, each of whom had standout performances in college before joining the Rockets. Being the top player among this group of young stars is no easy task. From Jalen Green to Jabari Smith, Alperen Sengun, Cam Whitmore, and Armen Thompson, these are all young players who have already proven themselves on the court. Of course, there's also Reed Sheppard, the 2024 draft's 3rd overall pick, who has been dominating in the G League. As the current core of the Rockets, Jaylen Green's growth path has been quite difficult. Even just 6 months ago, he was still on the trade block. Jaylen Green grew up with divorced parents, and his mother raised him and his sister on her own. To Jaylen Green, his mother had to play both father and mother, working tirelessly, and his only motivation to make it to the professional league was to take care of his family. On the door of his bedroom, there was an A4 sheet of paper with his wish list. He would write his goals on the paper, check off what he achieved, and cross out what he couldn't. The paper was covered with neat marks and crosses. Not every wish came true for Jaylen Green. For example, becoming the number 1 overall pick had a red cross over it. At the bottom of the paper, there was a line of small text, which read, "Become an All-Star." Jaylen Green grew up in a rural area of Central California, and after school every day, he would go to a nearby court to practice basketball. The court was actually a private driveway paved with concrete, full of bumps and cracks. It was here that Jaylen Green completed his first dunk and received a pair of Jordans from his stepfather. That summer, in 8th grade, Jaylen Green completed his first rim-rattling dunk. His mother, Perganan, a Filipino, excitedly stood up from the bench and shouted, "Oh my God, my son is only 14. His classmates sneered at him, "So what if he's 14? He's Asian. He doesn't belong in a high-level league." These words did hurt Jaylen Green. On the way home, his mother carefully said, "Jaylen, you might actually become a professional player one day." The insecure Jaylen Green replied, "No, Mom, I just want to be a vet so people's eyes don't get sick." In the summer of 2017, 15-year-old Jaylen Green attended a summer training camp at UCLA, where Kevin Durant and other professional players were also practicing. He first played with kids his own age. When one of the professional players left the game, the coach put Jaylen Green in to face Durant. At first, Durant scored a few points on him, but during a fast break, Jaylen Green showcased his amazing athleticism, dunking right over Durant and stunning everyone. In high school, Jaylen Green practiced every day from 3 p.m. until 8 p.m. After the gym closed, he would run to the weight room for extra practice until late at night, and eventually, his coach had to kick him out to stop him from overtraining. But this guy had already become the gym's night watchman. With his innate talent, he became a household name during high school, from the US to around the world. He was ranked #1 in the US high school rankings, signed with Adidas, helped his school win a national championship, won 3 World Cup championships, and earned MVP honors. Sports Illustrated named him 2020 Sports Illustrated All-America Player of the Year. At that time, he was the epitome of a prodigy. As the top high school player in the country in 2020, Jaylen Green had explosive athleticism. Amidst all the attention, he skipped NCAA and joined the G League Ignite team. But in the G League, he had to wait a whole year before getting to play his first official game. In the G League, Jaylen Green only played a dozen or so games, but his immense talent still kept him in the top 3 of the draft rankings. Jaylen Green's remarkable athleticism is his most distinct feature, which is why in 2021, the Rockets selected him with the 2nd overall pick. The reasoning from management was that skills can be taught, but talent cannot. However, Jaylen Green's development with the Rockets has not been entirely smooth. He displayed the kind of player with immense talent but lacking in basketball IQ. When he first entered the league, Jaylen Green thought that with his talent, he had already secured the position of the Rockets' future core player. To his surprise, after some moves from the Rockets management, within just 2 to 3 years, the team had gathered a group of potential young talents similar to him. Due to the lack of experience in college basketball, his ball handling was quite casual, and his performance on the court was very inconsistent, always showing a state of having abundant talent but lacking basketball IQ, which made Rockets fans both love and hate him. In the 2023 to 2024 season, with Ime Udoka becoming the head coach of the Rockets and the growth of Alperen Sengun, Jaylen Green's position gradually became less secure. His chaotic playing style was completely ineffective in Ime Udoka's eyes, and he was even benched for a period of time. Jaylen Green's career with the Rockets seemed to have hit a dead end, but Ime Udoka decided to save him. Thus, Ime Udoka started late-night film study sessions. After each practice, he would pull Jaylen Green aside to watch game footage, explaining each play frame by frame, often staying up until midnight. In Ime Udoka's eyes, Jaylen Green was not a lost cause. He had the talent and skill, the only thing that needed improvement was his ability to read the game. In addition to watching footage, Ime Udoka also gave veteran Fred VanVleet a special privilege. If he saw Jaylen Green getting carried away during a game, he could yell at him. As a result, you'd often see Jaylen Green being pulled to the sideline for a scolding. Sometimes, Ime Udoka used reverse psychology. Before a game against the Lakers, he told Jaylen Green, "Hey Jaylen, they put Austin Reeves on Team USA and you were just on the USA select team." Unexpectedly, those words sparked Jaylen Green's competitive spirit. He went on to score 28 points and led the Rockets to beat the Lakers. Ime Udoka had done everything he could. After last year's All-Star weekend, Jaylen Green finally had his breakthrough. During Alperen Sengun's injury, he led the team to a 10-game winning streak. Teammates noticed that Jaylen Green was now making conscious passes, unlike before when he would recklessly charge into the crowd. Especially in 2025, he scored over 20 points in 9 consecutive games, averaging 30.6 points per game. Notably, in 2 games where they swept the Memphis Grizzlies, Jaylen Green scored 27 points and 42 points, respectively. Thanks to these 2 key victories, the Rockets climbed to 2nd place in the West. Jaylen Green's outstanding performance won over numerous NBA legends. Shaquille O'Neal openly stated, "He's already an all-star caliber player." He was once in a completely laissez-faire environment, indulging himself and drifting along. Fortunately, during this challenging time, he encountered the disciplined Ime Udoka, who helped him correct his bad habits and reshape him into the Rockets' new hope. In his fourth year, Jaylen Green has seemingly transformed, truly beginning to carry the Rockets on his shoulders. There is an A4 paper on his bedroom door with his goals written on it, to become the #1 overall pick. Next to that, there's a red X marking off that goal. Not becoming the #1 pick has always been a regret for Jaylen Green, one he cannot change. However, there's another goal on the paper, to become an All-Star. Now, Jaylen Green is shining bright enough that what he has to do is wait for the day when his name is called at the All-Star game. In just 4 years, from the gifted but immature young player who first entered the league to the future superstar who can now showcase his powerful skills on both ends of the floor, Jaylen Green has grown. For the Houston Rockets, Jaylen Green is undoubtedly the hope for their revival. Despite the rough road of rebuilding, we believe Jaylen Green, with his talent and hard work, will continue to break through the doubts and lead the Rockets to write a brand new chapter.